Hello everyone and welcome to Honest Reviews, the show where I take a game and I review it without the bullshit and I give you my honest opinion. And today I finally bring you Sonic Unleashed and I'm doing it as the Hedgehog Month special. I thought this was the most appropriate time to review Sonic Unleashed. So yeah, we're doing Sonic Unleashed today, and we're also going to be doing what I like to call Sonic Unleashed, which is the Wii version / PS2 version. They're basically the same thing. So I'm not going to waffle any further, we're just going to jump straight into this, as I have been looking forward to doing this for a long time now. So let's kick off with the basics. Sonic Unleashed is another 3D platformer that was released in the year of 2008 for the PS3, Xbox 360, the Wii, PS2, and surprisingly mobile phones, but that version is basically extinct from our culture now. It's almost impossible to find anything of it, so yeah, we're going to breeze over that one. It wasn't very good anyway. So we'll just skip over that. Anyways, so Sonic Unleashed takes the main premise of run around as modern Sonic, but at night time we have the newly introduced Werehog, which is a very controversial aspect of this game, to say the least, but we'll get more into that later. So the story goes as follows. Sonic tries to thwart Eggman's plans again, but Eggman splits the Earth into numerous pieces. I think it's 7 or 8 pieces, which basically awakens a monster called Gaia, who lies at the center of the Earth. And this monster has the power to essentially turn Sonic into the Werehog. That's how he gets his transformation. And it's Sonic's goal to take down Gaia with the help of Chip, his little companion he bumps into during the opening of the game, which, you know, soon becomes close friends with each other. It's actually kind of touching, their friendship, I'll be honest with you. But anyways, moving on. So in case you're unaware, this was the first Sonic game to introduce the boost formula to us, and it was a fantastic start to the formula, I'll tell you that much. And I still believe this, and as many people do as well, this is the fastest feeling Sonic game to date. It's faster than Generations, Colors and Forces, because of the control. The control is a lot looser than those games, whereas those games are like, they feel stiff essentially. But because of how loose the control is here, it makes you feel like you have no control over the speed, but obviously you do. It's weird, it's really hard to explain. But yeah, the game just feels really fast, and if you just look at it, yeah, you can tell it's fast. And as well, I'll point this out, this is the best looking Sonic game to date, and it's been out for 10 years, not even 11 years this game has been out. That's insane. Like, I really hope the next game looks as good as this. I mean, Generations is really good looking as well, but I think this still looks the best, personally anyways. A lot of people think that as well. The CGI cutscenes are gorgeous as well, not to mention. So yeah, Sonic Unleashed from the get-go already set some really, really high standards. But then the accident happened. And by the accident, I mean the Werehog. And let's be real, the only reason why the Werehog exists is because when this game came out, the hottest genre at the time was hack and slash, so God of War type games. That is the only reason the Werehog is a thing, and I swear to God, right, before I actually get into complaining, I'll say this now, I do not mind the Werehog. If you play the Werehog as it was intended, it can be really fun. But to play the Werehog as it was intended, you need to grind. So as you can see, these little yellow diamonds that are being picked up, these are called experience points. So it's XP basically. And you can use this to basically level up Sonic, whether that be his Werehog form or his regular form, but it's mainly for the Werehog. And if you don't upgrade his combat, you'll be stuck to spamming square and triangle for the entire game, just doing basic kicks and scratches. That is it. But if you actually upgrade his combos, you can do some really fancy shit and do a lot of damage at the same time. So as you can see here, I'm just using the exact same, exact same move all the time because of how much damage it does. But there are other moves, and they are really good as well, and it's really flashy, basically. But at the same time, it's just extremely agitating just to get to the stage where you can use the Werehog as it is intended. If you don't use the Werehog the way they wanted you to, it is really, really boring because of how slow it is, how how basically boring the combat is, because the enemies take forever to kill. And you'd think Sonic the Werehog is stronger than regular Sonic, but apparently not, because Sonic can just jump on their head and they're dead, but this motherfucker has to punch them a million times. And half the time you're just killing the same enemies. So I don't see what the big deal is with the Werehog, but it just happened. Okay, the Werehog is something Sega wants to forget quite clearly. That is why they haven't re-released Unleashed. That is my hypothesis anyway. But as a community, we do not mind the Werehog anymore. It's passable. We just play the stage and get it through. Because the only thing we care about in Sonic Unleashed is the day stages. Like, let's be honest, no one likes the Werehog to the same degree they like modern Sonic. But it happened. It's in the past. We're going to forget about it. So, moving on from the Werehog, let's talk about the soundtrack for a second, because oh my god, this is one of the best Sonic soundtracks to date. Like, this game got a lot of things right, but it also got a lot wrong. So as you can hear in the background now, we have Apatos, or should I say Windmill Isle Night, which is the Werehog style. So Day Sonic has like rock music like you'd expect in a Sonic game, just to emphasize the speed, but the Werehog has kind of a smooth jazz feeling for some reason, and it's actually really, really calming. But, again, just to get it wrong, every 10 seconds you're going to hear this. Yep, this is the battle theme for the Werehog, and Jesus Christ, it gets annoying. I'm not joking, whenever you just stroll through the rest of the level thinking, oh yeah, I'm just going to stroll through this calmly, I'm going to enjoy the music and have a good time. You walk around the corner, next minute it's and it's just, it really does get on your head. It's the only thing I can't really stand about the Werehog, how frequent this battle theme plays. And it's not a badly made track or anything, the song's actually brilliant with the way it's made. I just absolutely hate, and I mean I absolutely hate having to listen to this every 5 minutes, or not even 5 minutes, every 10 seconds. It's unbelievable how often this thing plays. I'm not the only one that complains about this. Go watch Radical Soda's video on Sonic Unleashed. You'll understand. We both have a vendetta against this thing. Even Ant Dude, we've all got the same opinions on the battle theme. Moving on, however, to brighten up. The day stages in this game more than make up for what the nighttime does. I mean, Jesus, just look at this absolute madness. Not only is the music the music is extremely exhilarating for these stages. It is really fitting, especially this. This is easily the best stage in the entire game, Rooftop Run. Oh my god, it is amazing. Like, it's so fast, it's so exhilarating, it's always fun. Now, one of the main complaints about this game, however, is the frame rate, especially on the PlayStation 3 version. The frame rate chugs like a mother fudger, and I mean it really does fall behind sometimes. But on the 360 version, which is on the screen now, the frame rate isn't necessarily that bad. It is relatively smooth. It's just the Werehog sections. But on the PS3, yeah, this thing chugs like a bitch, which is quite unfortunate for PS3 users such as myself. But hey, we gotta get footage one way or another. We gotta switch console one time. So yeah, Sonic Unleashed day stages is the best part of the game by a mile, and this is the only reason I revisit this game, just to play these levels, because of how fun, how fast, and how amazing they are. So, with that out of the way, I can basically just sum up the HD version of this game. The HD version of this game is quite easily one of the greatest Sonic games to date. Now, obviously I've just mentioned a lot of negatives about the Werehog, but that's okay. The Werehog is only a fraction of the game, but the rest of the game, which is its story, visuals, soundtrack, control, and level design, especially for both Werehog and regular Sonic, is absolutely outstanding, and I have no idea why the critics had such a grudge against this game upon release. It's amazing, and I'm not even going to talk about the final section of this game because I really believe it is worth you guys playing and discovering for yourself. That is, I'm not joking. So, Sonic Unleashed on the PS3/Xbox 360 gets my final rating of an 8 out of 10. It is amazing. So, with that out of the way, let's switch over consoles. Okay, so here's where things get really strange. Sonic Unleashed on the Wii works completely different to what it does on the 360 and PS3. This game, this is it's the same story with the PS2 version. These are the same version of the game. They work like missions. The day stages and night stages are essentially missions or tutorials. That is basically them. And when it does come down to the proper ones, they are just simple, just hold forward and boost when you get the chances. There's no challenge to this version of the game. It's just an extremely dumbed down and simple version of Sonic Unleashed, essentially. That's basically what it is. But the only thing that I like about this game more than the HD version is how you collect Sun and Moon medals. Because if you didn't know, because I didn't mention it earlier, Sun and Moon medals are used to progress through the game to unlock new levels, and collecting them in the HD version involves collecting them through the stage by grabbing them when running past them. But in this version, it's about what objectives you complete before reaching the goal. And also, the boost works different in this edition as well. It's not hold a button and you'll go really fast. In this version, you press the button to go really fast for a moment of time. Yep, they really did dumb down the boost in this game. But that does work to this game's advantage, because obviously it is on the Wii. The Wii probably couldn't have handled that. They couldn't have handled it with this game's settings anyway. Plus, they didn't really know how to incorporate the boost into a Wii game, but they sussed it with colours by making the control more stiff, and that is what worked with Unleashed, its control style. But obviously with this game they had to improvise by giving us short boosts instead of one big one, which I really do not like. And I really don't like the level design of this game either. I think it's just really, really bland and boring, and it's far too spacious. But that's how the game works. It's more of a mission type thing. It's mission based, if you will. So that's that. Quite unfortunately, but the night stages, despite the ugly ass Werehog model, the night stages benefit from the Wii's changes. Only because of the structure. No longer do you run around a corner to kill an enemy to the annoying battle theme every 5 seconds. Instead, you work your way through a short challenge stage in a certain amount of time. You have to beat basically a platforming challenge in a certain amount of time. While yes, you do have to fight enemies, it's far less frequent, and also the Werehog is far less fast for some reason. Like, look, it's not very fast anyway, but it has less speed. But at the same time, it benefits because it has the loose control of the boost from the HD version, and it's just so blissful. It's miles better than what we had in the HD version, simply because of, you know, the strain that you have to put on yourself in that version. There's less effort you have to put in here just to enjoy the Werehog, and that is the best part about it. The levels are short, sweet, and you can get back to the proper action fast and short. It's fast, short, simple. It's great. Absolutely fantastic. The Werehog in this game benefits more than any other aspect of this version. Something else the Wii version does differently is its hub worlds. So in the HD version, you have to roam around a smallish open space to talk to pedestrians and then access your levels by going into these little like a little cylindrical light thing. It's hard to describe, but you get there quite easily. But in this version, you actually get to go inside of the Gaia temples that relate to the story, and you open the doors obviously by collecting Sun and Moon medals, and when you go through the door, you'll transform into the correct counterpart. And I think it's actually really nice how you get to a degree explore the Gaia temples, because it's something that we didn't get to do in the HD version, and we only saw them in cutscenes. And as well as that, the hub worlds in this game, instead of having to walk around an open space, chat to pedestrians and find your way around it normally, as well, you know, which is how you unlock some upgrades as well, you just click on a couple of pictures and read a PNG with the text box, like it's a PlayStation 1 game, which is it's really cute, but it's nowhere near as engaging as what it is in the HD version. But I may say this now, Rooftop Run in this game is once again the best stage in the game. As you can see here, this is the best stage in the game, quite clearly. If you've seen any other stages before as well. So yeah, the game does improve in quality as it goes along, and I'm not going to show it you because obviously spoilers and blah blah blah. But the final level of this game, which, you know, being the final boss, it is miles better in the Wii version than it is on the HD version. Because on the HD version, it takes a long time and there's some boost attacks, but in this version, it is a lot simpler, and it just feels more fun. to a degree. But another thing that I will point out that is a shame about both versions is that Super Sonic is not playable outside of the final boss, which is something that Sonic games past Sonic Adventure seem to like to do. Because the only time Super Sonic was playable in modern Sonic games out past the Genesis era, it was in the final boss. So Sonic Adventure final boss, Adventure 2 final boss, Heroes final boss, Shadow the Hedgehog if you can count that was also the final boss. 06 Unleashed, Colors did bring back Super Sonic, but it was pretty shit. And then Generations is what finally got it back into main stages. And while yes, the ring counter did go down really fast for some godforsaken reason, Super Sonic was a lot better than it was in Sonic Colors, so that's a bonus at least. But with that being said and done, Sonic Unleashed on the Wii is different, to say the least. It is a very different experience to what you're going to experience on the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3, but it is still a good game. It's not bad by any means. The only issue I have with it is that you have to get far into the game to start enjoying it more, because the further back you are in the game and its progression, the less fun you're going to have with it. Similar to like what the Werehog works in the HD version, the more you play, the more you'll enjoy, simply because you have to basically get to the good stuff. But all that aside, Sonic Unleashed on the Wii gets a 7 out of 10. It is really good. So with those two scores now in mind, and the HD version being superior, but the Wii version still being pretty good, both games deserve to go back on the shelf. With this video coming to its conclusion, I'm about to put these games back where they belong, and that is on the game collection shelf. So, to give a brief recap of everything we've just discussed, Sonic Unleashed on the PS3/360 is easily one of the greatest Sonic games today. It is a fantastic experience that I believe every fan of Sonic, platformers, whatever should just pick up and play eventually one day, because it is pretty good. But what I will say now is I do plan to do more honest reviews for Hedgehog Month if I get the time. And I do have some games in mind, but I'm still not quite sure which one. So I'm going to take out a couple of them right now just to show you guys which ones I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of doing a review of the Gems Collection and Mega Collection, just to basically talk about how they are as collections, counting the original Mega Collection as well. I also want to do a video on the racing games. Last year's Hedgehog Month I did a versus battle on All Stars Racing and All Stars Racing Transformed, but I want to give them their own honest reviews in a separate video, and I want to count Team Sonic Racing. Sonic Generations, I probably should do a redo of its honest reviews, as it was a long time ago and it was a very bad video. And I really need to talk about Sonic Forces again one day, because I did give it an honest reviews and I did say it was good, but then I gave it a look back a year later and said it was terrible, and yes, my opinions have changed again. But Sonic Mania I definitely need to redo, because I give it a very unjust score because I barely played any of it last time. And Team Sonic Racing I will include in the racing games video. So in terms of spin-off titles, I'm not going to count the Mario and Sonic games as Sonic games, but I do need to do the storybook games, Sonic and the Secret Rings and Black Knight, Colors, as well as Free Riders. Oh, not Free Riders, sorry, Zero Gravity, because Zero Gravity is technically a racing game, so I will count it. And if I do redo Sonic Generations, I will include the handheld version. And also, I probably should talk about these games one day. Sonic and All Stars Racing on the DS properly, Sonic Colors on the DS, and also Sonic Chronicles, a game I strangely enjoyed as a child, but obviously I don't enjoy it that much anymore. So with that out of the way and being said, yes, I just rambled really quickly then, but there are a few games I want to talk about still. But anyways, thank you all for watching, take care, and peace out.